But when you have IGF-1 plus Nandrolone, look how much more estradiol goes up. It literally doubles, if not more, when you take it in conjunction with one another. When you use IGF-1 with stanozolol, all of a sudden estrogen production goes up too. What's up guys, Derek, moreplates.com. Today we're going to be talking about Nandrolone and its neurotoxicity. Again, this is a commonly revisited topic. If you haven't seen my rundowns on Nandrolone and the potential cardiovascular issues and neurotoxicity issues that may come as a result of it, check out my DECA only for TRT experiment, or for HRT I should say. I'll put a card up in the corner, and then as well I also did a video you should watch on testosterone is not neuroprotective, estrogen is, and I'll also put a card up to that in the corner. And then the other one you should probably watch is anything, just type Nandrolone in the search bar and you'll find anything related to this, to be honest, on my channel. But basically, the rundown on Nandrolone is it is not a potent substrate for aromatase, and it increases estrone, which does not really convert to estradiol in any significant amount. And the consequent result is cardio and neurotoxicity outcomes if not used for the majority of people in conjunction with exogenous estradiol or some sort of base that acts as a test base and is a potent substrate for aromatase. So something like testosterone, exogenous estradiol, D-bol for some people, stuff like that. So with the lack of estrogen, as you know, it's the neuroprotective component of testosterone essentially. But there are different ways to upregulate aromatase expression, and Nandrolone is progestogenic in nature, which can upregulate aromatase too. But on top of that, apparently HGH can also upregulate aromatase and provide neuroprotection in conjunction with Nandrolone use. So this is really interesting and kind of almost suggests that somebody may be better off using GH when they're using their Nandrolone. So the reason I say that is this model right here. And it's not me saying you should do this. It's me just saying the literature suggests that this may be a viable way to mitigate some of the neurotoxicity that occurs with Nandrolone. So in this study here, they have GH improved spatial memory and reverses certain anabolic androgenic steroid-induced effects in intact rats. So in this one, male Wistar rats got Nandrolone decanoate 15 milligrams per kilogram or vehicle for 3 weeks. They were treated with GH at 1 unit per kilogram or saline for 10 days. During the GH saline treatment, spatial learning and memory were tested in the Morris water maze. Plasma IGF-1 were assessed and the gene expression of the GH receptors in hippocampus and frontal cortex was analyzed. The results demonstrated a significant positive effect of GH on memory functions, and increased gene expression of IGF-1 in the hippocampus was found in the animals treated with GH. In addition, GH was demonstrated to increase body weight and was able to attenuate the reduced body weight seen in the Nandrolone treated animals. In general, the rats treated with Nandrolone alone did not exhibit any pronounced alteration in memory compared with the controls in the Morris water maze, and in many cases, GH did not induce any alteration. Regarding target zone crossings considered to be associated with spatial memory, the difference between GH and steroid-treated animals was significant, and administration of GH improved this parameter in the latter group. So as you can see here, we have target zone crossing, latency to target zone crossings from the first 30 seconds of the probe trial, frequency of visits to the target quadrant, percentage of total visits. We're basically looking at how good these rats are at getting through this maze and their memory. And you can see here with the controls versus the GH group, you can see with the anabolic androgenic steroid group, the zone crossings decreases substantially. You can see here, zone crossings with anabolic androgenic steroids, the GH one is always the highest. Now, is this because it upregulates aromatase and makes essentially increases ER activation through indirect mechanisms, or just provides this an additional amount of neuroprotection? I don't really know, to be honest, but that's what it seems to imply, because when you see the anabolic androgenic steroid plus GH groups, it's always a more favorable outcome when using GH as opposed to just the anabolic androgenic steroids in a brain context when you're using a potent compound but is not potent as a substrate for aromatase. So when you have a lack of sufficient estrogen, introducing GH into the equation seems to improve outcomes in a brain context. There was also a study done where they compared IGF-1's effects on estradiol production with nandrolone versus with stanozolol. So we had the basal group, which had nothing. Then we had the nandrolone group and how much estradiol was produced. Stanozolol and how much estrogen it produced. So obviously stanozolol being a potent DHT derivative, that's not a substrate for aromatase at all. It doesn't produce any substantial amounts of estrogen. Nandrolone is way more, even though nandrolone is, subpar still compared to something like testosterone. But anyways, IGF-1 doesn't really result in any estradiol production over basal, I should say. But when you have IGF-1 plus nandrolone, look how much more estradiol goes up. It literally doubles, if not more, when you take it in conjunction with one another. When you use IGF-1 with stanozolol, all of a sudden estrogen production goes up too. Not as substantial as IGF-1 plus nandrolone, but that's kind of the 1 + 1 = 3 progestogenic effect you get, plus the upregulation of aromatase expression at the exact same time. So, it ties in very closely with the fact that GH, increases IGF-1 levels, which then also happens to substantially potentiate the amount of estradiol being converted when using nandrolone. And then that also indirectly seems to have a neuroprotective effect on rodents using nandrolone, whereas they would otherwise see very blatant neurotoxicity outcomes. So, at the end of the day, you can extrapolate that however you want. To me, it seems like the literature suggests that you either have enough estrogen there, or you have to find a way to provide indirect mechanisms by which you fulfill that pathway, whether it's upregulating aromatase expression, whether it is introducing an exogenous compound that's a substrate for aromatase. Whatever it is, you just got to get enough in there to provide that brain protection you need on anabolics, or else you're going to end up with suboptimal outcomes in a cardiotoxicity and a neurotoxicity context. So let me drop a comment. Helps the algorithm when you guys do. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, @moreplates_more_dates, Facebook, Snapchat, BitChute, Twitter, TikTok, Apple Podcasts. If you want to support the channel, you can check out my TRT clinic if you are seeking high quality care through a HRT clinic that understands how to interpret blood work. They know the cutting edge of the medical literature on hormone replacement therapy and TRT. They know how to address any imbalances or deficiencies you have in a healthy and smart way to optimize your performance and not do stupid shit like indiscriminately inhibit aromatase that causes neurotoxicity and stuff like that. I recommend you reach out to them. The patient care coordinators and the doctors on staff are all super qualified and stay on top of the literature just like I do. I dig into this stuff for fun, and for their job they dig into the literature too, which keeps them up to date, and they have information like this, which is most doctors don't even know how to prescribe TRT, let alone like how to avoid fucking yourself up when you use it. And they don't like proactively do stuff that just is like cookie cutter by the book stuff that they think is healthy but has been aged out of the literature like 20 years ago. So if you want high quality care that is vetted through me and represents the same level of information I put out, I recommend you reach out to them. They literally go through like the same education material that I do to learn my stuff that I post on these videos. So they are definitely worth having running your protocol if you're on TRT right now. Even if you're with another clinic, we do free transfers, and it's definitely worth it to get under Evolve, in my opinion. That's where I do all my stuff through, obviously, pharma grade stuff. You can travel with it. That's what my family is using. That's what my mom's on. Yeah, honestly, you can save $50 off your first treatment with the coupon code MPMD50. Just mention it to your patient care coordinator when you are doing your initial consult, or put it in the requisition form when you're just getting signed up. And yeah, it's all telemedicine, comfort of your own home, Skype, FaceTime, Zoom, whatever's convenient for you, and your doctor's appointments also through Skype, FaceTime, Zoom. And then all your meds get shipped right to your door. It's super convenient, way of the future in my opinion. If you want to support Gorilla Mind, Gorilla Mode, Gorilla Mind, my nootropic formulas for focus, product creativity. These are all turnkey and can help you get more productive hours out of each day. Pre-workout formulas, self-explanatory what those are. Just pull out your current pre, look at the label, compare it to the label on Gorilla Mode Nitric, the stimulant-free formula. Compare it to the label on Gorilla Mode Stim, the stimulant-only product. And you'll quickly see why we are undoubtedly, in my opinion, the top pre-workouts in the industry. Like, nobody is getting these dosages hit like I am. And there's a reason. The reason is I'm willing to eat the fucking margin so I can put out a product that actually hits hard and is the top end efficacious dose. I don't just want clinical dose. Oh, I hit the minimum efficacious dose that produces an outcome in a study. Like, good. No, like I want the max fucking amount where like more would not would equate to either like severely diminished results or be like potentially not good anymore. It might even be like overkill. So if you want a formula that's actually maxed out and I designed myself on a Word document from scratch, stuff I would mix together otherwise if I didn't have a company and that I used to in my university years, then check those out. Anything else I'm associated with, video description below. Thank you guys for watching. Talk to you soon.